Well, a first alert for freezing temperatures tonight, lows in the upper 20s, low 30s. And then we look ahead to the weekend for the next chance for rain and storms and weather every 6 minutes.
And we're just hours away from the Republican primary debate taking place in Tuscaloosa. In just a few moments, we're taking you live to the University of Alabama's campus.
We didn't come here for revenge. We came here to get justice for Glenn.
What really happened in the death of former NFL player who died in police custody in Pickens County? There is now a lawsuit to find out. New on the 4, what attorney Ben Crump has to say about getting transparency in this case.
And Senator Tommy Tuberville ending his blockade of military promotions. New on the 4, what Senator Tuberville has to say about whether he caved.
Live and on your side, this is The 4 on WBRC Fox 6 News.
So glad you're with us on this afternoon. A lot to get to for you this afternoon, including an update on a shooting at a Walmart in Birmingham that left one person seriously injured.
And we also have a first alert for freezing temperatures coming overnight. But first, we're following breaking news out of Nevada, where a suspect is now dead after a shooting on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Las Vegas police just providing an update saying there is no further threat right now. The sheriff says a number of people have been transported to hospitals, but they have not said how many people or whether anyone besides the suspect is dead. We will stay on top of this story and give you updates as we get them on air and online. You Decide 2024, we are just hours away from the Republican primary debate happening in Tuscaloosa.
The Republican frontrunner, Donald Trump, will not be there, but 4 candidates will take the stage at the Moody Music Building on the campus of the University of Alabama. That's where our Jonathan Hardison joins us now. Jonathan, we know the excitement is building at UA's campus. Tell us more what you're seeing there.
That's right, Sarah. It's about numbers tonight. 4 candidates left on that stage, one night and perhaps one last opportunity to make their case to a nationwide audience and Republican primary voters about that, why they should be perhaps the one alternative to the former president, who will, of course, not be with us tonight. With us now, though, is the Secretary of State, Wes Allen, himself a Tuscaloosa native, Cottondale, I should say, perhaps to be more accurate. Mr. Secretary, I'm not going to ask you about the candidates tonight so much in positions, but just about the impact of having a presidential debate here in Tuscaloosa on this campus and what this means to the city and the state.
Well, Jonathan, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Yes, it's a historical event for Tuscaloosa. It brings back so many memories to be on this campus, which I'm an alma mater. This is my alma mater. I'm so proud that this campus, this university is hosting this historical event, the first time a presidential debate in this state. And so it's exciting, and I think you can see the excitement around, the buzz around town. It's exciting.
Lots of folks here, lots of barbecue being consumed by the National Press Corps we've talked to today. They made sure to get some of those favorite spots. Lots of Dreamland has been consumed. I wonder if you talk about, Alabama primary voters very well in your party. In general, what do you think they want to hear tonight? What are the issues that are impacting their lives that they want to hear some solutions from these candidates about?
Well, I can tell you from my experience on the campaign trail for a year and a half campaigning as Secretary of State, election integrity and security. And that's what I heard as I went all over the state of Alabama. People want to make sure our elections are safe, strong, secure, accurate, transparent. I believe in election day, not election month. We're always going to have paper ballots. The tabulators that we have will never be connected to the internet. And so election integrity is important. That's what we heard on the campaign trail for a year and a half. And it's the top of people's minds.
Finally, I wonder, do you think the audience will have inside there tonight? I know it's not a public ticket, but a lot of folks invited from around here. Is that going to be a good cross-section for us to get a kind of a read from their reaction? What kind of impact the candidates make here as they make kind of one final push before we get into actual voting in the next few weeks?
Well, I don't know for sure, but to take in the historical event, I thought it was important for me to be here and to take it in, let my eyes take it in to see what this is all about, and just so happy and proud to be a part of this situation and this presidential debate and to see everything that's going on here in Tuscaloosa. It's really exciting.
Finally, these folks will be on a ballot. You'll be administering the Secretary of State next spring. How confident do you feel on Super Tuesday we'll be able to have good results?
Well, we've been working very closely with the probate judges, the circuit clerks, the sheriffs, the board of registrars, and the poll workers, and getting ready for March 5th. It's less than 90 days away. Yeah. So once we get Christmas behind us, we're 8-9 weeks away. So we're getting prepared. We've been in contact, making sure everybody at the local level, all of those individuals and those local elected officials are ready and prepared for March 5th.
Excellent. Excellent. Secretary of State Wes Allen kind enough to join us. Mr. Secretary, thanks. And again, as he said, less than 90 days, and folks in this state will be voting for perhaps one of these candidates behind us or the one who isn't here. We'll be here for you all afternoon and evening on WBRC and our news app to cover it for you. Live in Tuscaloosa, Jonathan Hardison, WBRC Fox 6 News on your side.
Former Alabama Senator Doug Jones in Tuscaloosa today as well, representing the Biden-Harris 2024 campaign, attacking the former president in a seminar today, calling his supporters extremists.
The truth is that Donald Trump and his brand of MAGA Republican extremist, and that's what we've got to talk about here, have that same agenda. And that is the agenda that seems to be on the stage tonight. That seems to be, no one is condemning that rhetoric from Donald Trump, and they seem to be somewhat wholeheartedly embracing it.
Right here, we are on your side, giving you complete coverage before, during, and after the debate on air and on the WBRC News app. It's free, of course, on your phone's app store. We have a first alert for potentially freezing temperatures overnight. We could feel that temperature drop this morning, too.
Oh, absolutely. Our chief meteorologist, Wes Wyatt, is on top of this for you and has your weather every 6 minutes. Tell us about this first alert, Wes.
Yeah, it's going to be much calmer for us tonight, so that temperature will take a big tumble across the area. We're at 54 right now in Tuscaloosa. North wind at 9 miles per hour. That breeze is going to settle down. 52 at Birmingham. North wind still in place. Wind also expected to settle east Alabama at 52 degrees. Where do we go from here with temperatures tumbling into the 40s? We'll actually have lows tonight, upper 20s and low 30s out the door tomorrow morning. So a first alert for freezing. And then we've got that chance for rain and storms coming back on Saturday. I'm still keeping a close watch on that. I think there's a risk we could see some strong to severe storms, especially in areas to the west late on Saturday. So do stay weather alert as we monitor the weekend setup. Right now, as we check out other areas, we have some 40s to the north. Marion's at 54, Clanton at 53 degrees. Out the door Thursday morning, you can see the temperature there around 29 Hamilton, 28 Coleman, Clanton around 28 degrees, Alabaster and Shelby County also temperatures down into the 20s. So frost and freezing, certainly much colder. Bundle up out there tonight. We'll walk you through the rest of the week. Lauren's coming up. We'll check in on some of those event forecasts and also first look at our 7-day forecast.
Today marks 2 years since former NFL player Glenn Foster Jr. died while in police custody, and now his family is filing a federal lawsuit to get answers in his death.
Well, investigators say he died after getting in a fight with another inmate a few days after his arrest. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing the family now. Tristan Rupert in studio now after talking with him today during a news conference. Tristan, this is all about transparency and accountability.
That's right, Sarah. It really was an emotional day for the family as dozens of people showed up to support. The family wants to know what happened in the Pickens County Jail 2 years ago.
Glenn Foster Jr. Glenn Foster Jr. What do you mean? Fight back. What do you mean? Fight back.
In the federal lawsuit, the Foster family's attorney Ben Crump claims law enforcement in Pickens County denied Glenn Foster Jr. medical treatment multiple times before physically attacking him.
He stayed in the jail where he proceeded to be excessively tased, beaten, and choked.
Crump says the Fosters deserve answers.
We didn't come here for revenge. We came to get justice for Glenn.
The family is hoping for more, though. They want those in power to be held accountable, not just for Glenn's death, but others they see as unjust.
My son didn't have to die.
No.
And just like too many of us, we are being murdered. And we are paying them to murder us.
Foster's father says his dad left the state of Alabama to escape bigotry during the Jim Crow era. Yet decades later, he says his son encountered many of the same problems.
There's a problem in this country. It's not just here in Alabama. All right? It's unfortunate that my son lost his life here in sweet home Alabama. Sweet to who? That's my question. Okay? It's definitely not sweet to people of color in this state.
We were directed to the Pickens County attorney and are waiting an answer. A grand jury in Tuscaloosa County reviewed this case earlier this year and did not indict anyone on criminal charges. Tristan Rupert, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
New on the 4, we are learning that a man we were originally told was dead after an officer-involved shooting in Woodstock is still on life support. According to the Bibb County coroner, Tyler Goodson, known for the S-Town podcast, is still on life support. Goodson was declared brain dead on Tuesday, and doctors are working to harvest his organs for donation. Goodson was shot after a standoff with Woodstock officers just after midnight Sunday. Aaliyah is leading this investigation.
Right now, we have a tragic update on a house fire in Jefferson County this morning. It happened in Concord, and authorities say a man has died. Well, this happened on Taylor's Ferry Road just before 6 this morning. So far, investigators have not released the victim's name and no word on what caused this fire. New on the 4, we're learning more now about that shooting at a Walmart in East Birmingham Tuesday. Birmingham police telling us they are still holding the suspect on a 48-hour felony extension, but so far the DA's office has not filed charges yet. One man was shot, and he is still in serious condition, and so far no word on what led up to the shooting.
New on the 4, Senator Tommy Tuberville says his decision to end his blockade of military promotions was not him caving to anyone. He maintained the holds on those promotions for months in protest to a Pentagon abortion policy. Shortly after ending his blockade, the Senate confirmed more than 400 promotions. Tuberville says he thought this situation would go differently.
I didn't cave to anybody. I've been thinking all along about the promotions. The problem is, you know, you'd think that you put a hold on a group of people. Unfortunately, it was our military upper echelon, that you would get some kind of response out of this corrupt administration, the Biden administration. Chuck Schumer would sit down and negotiate, get it worked out in a short period of time. Never had 1 minute of negotiation.
Now, Senator Tuberville is continuing to hold the promotions of the highest ranking military officials. Right now, that's less than a dozen people. After being ousted as Speaker of the House, new on the 4, why Kevin McCarthy says he's now stepping down from Congress. Wes.
Yeah, chilly evening out there. Temperatures by 8 o'clock tumbling into the 30s. Expect freezing conditions. Lows tomorrow morning below freezing in most areas. But how about the rest of the week? We're coming back. Lauren's got a first check on today's 7-day forecast and weather every 6 minutes.
Time for weather every 6 minutes. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan here looking at that decorating forecast for the next week. Really, we're looking fairly dry. The one exception, the one fly in the ointment is going to be as we get into the weekend when we have a first alert for the possibility of some rain and possibly some storms, some that could be on the strong side Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So even once the rain moves out of here Sunday morning, you gotta have that first alert that there's likely going to be very windy conditions, and not just windy conditions, it's going to be cold. A strong cold front is coming through. So if you can avoid doing any outdoor decorating over the weekend, that would be best. Now, I think as far as during the day Saturday, it's going to be fairly dry and warm, but it will be breezy ahead of this system approaching. Really, our main time frame that we could be seeing rain is going to be Saturday night into early Saturday or Sunday morning. But as far as the Leeds Christmas parade on Friday, we should be staying dry. Rain chances looking slim. We'll gradually see some moisture moving back in, but temperatures in the 50s over in Leeds on Friday. And then for the Gadsden parade Saturday night, the possibility of a few showers sneaking in. But we'll take a look at that super 7-day forecast and weather every 6.
WBRC is proud again to partner with the Salvation Army for the WBRC Fox 6 Gifts for Kids Salvation Army Angel Tree Program.
Well, you can still drop off gifts at the Chick-fil-A's across our area, and that's where we find our Steve Crocker right now. Steve, right now it's just about bringing the gifts. We can't really adopt any angels right now. Just bring the gifts.
Bring the gifts, and we've got some here. So we've got gifts, we've got the Angel Tree, we've got our partners from the Salvation Army, we've got the Chick-fil-A cow. It's definitely Christmas. We want to check in with Major Karen Lyle of the Greater Birmingham Salvation Army. Major, how are things going during this year's campaign?
Well, things are going really well. We had 1,320 families supplied this year with almost 3,500 angels, and we're at the halfway mark, so people are starting to bring their angels back. The angel trees at the Galleria Mall and at the shops of Grand River have closed as of yesterday, so now Chick-fil-A's have their trees until December the 12th.
Okay, so you can still come get an angel at a Chick-fil-A And you have what, until Tuesday to bring it back?
Yes, it needs to be brought back on the 12th of December, but you can take an angel off the tree. It has the gender of the child, the age of the child, and you bring an age-appropriate toy or a new coat.
Okay. And what sorts of requests are we getting this year?
A lot of the moms have asked for clothing this year. So I see a lot of bags stuffed with a lot of clothing, and Barbies are a hit this year, and Polly Pockets. I just found out what a Polly Pocket is. So they're a new thing this year.
Wow, okay. And I was able to make a donation online this afternoon. So how much longer can people do that?
They can do that till December the 12th as well. You can go to the BirminghamSalvageArmy.org, and you can look at the online link and click on that, and it goes to a Walmart registry.
All right, so plenty of ways to help out in the next week or so. Absolutely. For this year's Angel Tree campaign. So that's the situation. Come on by, get an angel, get a nugget, and help a child in need this Christmas. Reporting from Chick-fil-A at Eastwood Mall, Steve Crocker, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
All right, Steve, thank you. Congress still in the deadlock over funding for Ukraine. New on the 4, why Republicans are arguing to strengthen the borders before providing more money overseas.
Time for weather every 6 minutes and that super 7-day forecast. Overall, the weather maybe not looking so super in the days ahead. If you like stormy weather, then you'll be good to go Saturday and Sunday. And if you like cold weather, hey, tomorrow morning will definitely be more reminiscent of winter. So we have a first alert for the possibility of at or near freezing temperatures again tonight. Even though we could see some high clouds moving in this evening, winds are going to calm down. So I think we should still see a lot of spots reach that freezing mark. And before you go to bed tonight, make sure your plants are still covered up or brought inside and that your pets are warm, and you too will probably need to crank that heater on a little bit. But tomorrow morning is going to be one of those 3 cups of hot coffee kind of morning. Maybe treat yourself to a latte too before you head into work or school. Now for tomorrow morning, the winds will be calm thanks to high pressure and control of the weather pattern, but temperatures still near freezing. It's going to be dry though, possibly just a few high clouds around. Still plenty of sunshine around for Thursday, but we will notice some moisture moving back in on Friday. I'm not telling you it's going to be muggy on Friday just yet, but there's likely going to be some more clouds moving back in ahead of our next big thing, a storm system coming in Saturday night into Sunday morning that could bring some rain and possibly some embedded thunderstorms to the mix. And we are monitoring this. We want to give you a first alert for the possibility of a severe threat. It doesn't look overwhelming for us at this time. I think the greater ingredients for severe weather will be to the west of us. But it's certainly something we're going to watch. And if we have storms coming through at night, we always want to make sure we're staying alert. Have that First Alert weather app downloaded and that NOAA weather radio ready to go. So let's take a look at the futurecast here. So I think Saturday we could maybe see a few showers. Notice here, this is one of our models that isn't quite as high of a resolution. We haven't quite gotten to that time frame that we would get into tomorrow where we can see better data displayed throughout the day on Saturday. But even though this is showing the possibility of some light rain, I think most of Saturday during the daylight hours at least will be dry. We could potentially see a few isolated showers farther to the south and east, but I think the main window when we're going to be seeing that push of rain and thunderstorms coming through is going to be Saturday night after sunset. So you'll notice storms, rain and storms coming in from the northwest and pushing to the southeast. Likely most of this rain will be falling while you're asleep, and we could see some lingering rain, possibly a few rumbles of thunder Sunday morning before rain should clear out Sunday afternoon. And then temperatures are going to be dropping because this is a strong cold front coming through. So we get briefly warmer on Friday and Saturday with highs back in the 60s. It'll still be chilly Friday morning, but then on Sunday, the temperature is going to be dropping throughout the day. So likely the warmest part of the day on Sunday going to be in the morning hours. So if you got anything to do outdoors Sunday, make sure you are bundled up. And then looking cool and dry into next week. Wes and I will talk more about the rain in the forecast coming up at 4:30.
Well, police released the mugshot of the man arrested in a Texas shooting spree. Authorities tell us this is 34-year-old Shane James. Police believe he's responsible for shootings in 2 locations, 2 bodies in a home in San Antonio and 3 shootings in Austin. A total of 6 people are now dead and 3 other people were injured. Right now, he's only facing charges for the 4 people he's accused of killing in Austin.
Right now, a deadlock between Republicans and Democrats continues over funding for Ukraine and Israel and changes to policies at the border. The White House asking for more than $100 billion for Ukraine and Israel and other needs. Meanwhile, the GOP says nothing will boost national security more than securing the border.
As these numbers go to new levels and historic levels, the FBI director yesterday told us he's never seen more threats against our homeland than he does today.
Petty, partisan, angry politics can't get in the way of our responsibility as a leading nation in the world.
The Biden administration still has ways it can help Ukraine and is gearing up to send another aid package, including artillery and ammunition.
Other big news from Capitol Hill, former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he is stepping down from Congress when his term is up. He made the announcement today in the Wall Street Journal. McCarthy was elected House Speaker in January, but lawmakers ousted him from the office this fall after multiple rounds of voting in the House. All eyes on Tuscaloosa right now as we're just 3 hours away from the fourth Republican primary debate in Tuscaloosa. New on the floor, House state Republican leaders are gearing up for tonight's big debate.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Wes White. I've had all eyes on some of that new data coming in as a chance for rain and storms back in the weekend forecast. I'll let you know what we are seeing as far as any risk for severe weather and timing it all out. That is next in Weather Every 6 Minutes.